Well, hello, and thank you for joining us for our latest episode of KREX Cafe. I'm Logan Wilbur, and I'm joined today by Doug Sorter with Strive. Doug, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely, Logan. So glad to be here, and we really do love KREX in this valley. It's just one of those organizations that really looks to be a part of the community, and we're really happy to be a part of this.
Well, thank you.
Station. Yep.
Thank you. I mean, we definitely take pride in knowing that we not only report on the community, but we live here too. So everything that happens here definitely matters to us.
Yeah, it's great.
And of course, thank you for joining us because we know you have a lot going on. But
do.
real quick, for anyone who isn't aware, tell us a little bit about Strive, what you guys do, and kind of what your mission is.
Well, Strive is part of the community. We're your neighbors, we're your friends, we're your different people out there, and we support the individuals that have developmental disabilities or intellectual delays from birth into life, which is a huge commitment if you think about that. From the time they're born to, we have a grandma that reads to the kids at the daycares named Jean Ann that is 84 years old. I mean, so there's a lot of time and effort that goes into making sure that they're afforded all the opportunities that you and I are, and making sure that they have access to that too. So that's kind of what we do, is make sure that they're not only have good living conditions and good working conditions, but also opportunities for fun and enjoyment and being a part of the community, because it really enhances everyone's life when you have that integrated piece of what goes on in the world. And just like anybody else, we all want to be accepted and be a part of it, and we feel better if we are. So why wouldn't you want that? So that's what we do.
Yeah, no, we love a lot of the things that you come and join and give us interviews and talk to us about some of the opportunities that you guys do offer. Why is it that we do lack some of these opportunities for this special population?
Well, I think to some degree we haven't done a good job of getting things in place and moving forward, and we've got some work to do there. But also, those opportunities, when you see them, you have to seize the day. You have to take them when you can. And if you're not prepared and ready to do it right at that time, you miss that opportunity. The window closes. So we just got to become better at that particular piece, and we're working on that piece.
Yeah.
I always come in and talk about the children's services that we have and the remarkable things we do in that arena, and we really are good at that, and we really do a lot of great things there. But we also serve 933 adults and the different things that they need. And we're starting to put a little more focus on that arena. Because we need to. We've kind of stepped back from that, but we need to line ourselves up and get back in the game with that, because there's a number of different things that we should be doing, could be doing, and are going to be doing. So we're excited about that piece. I mean, I want to tell you all about every one of them.
Well, we're definitely going to have some time here today to do that.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned you have over 900 adults. Is that Grand Junction proper? Is that the Western Slope? Mesa County, Montrose County, Delta? How far do you guys spread with your services?
That's a great question, because it is just Mesa County.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just right here in Mesa County, and there's a lot of different things that are going on, a lot of needs that need to be met, because like I said, when you're in it for the long haul and people are 21 years old to 84, everybody has different needs and different expectations for what they're trying to do. So we have a couple, if you want me to go right into it, I will, because I want to tell you all about it. So the kind of things that we really are looking to do more and more of are like what we have going on at the Botanical Gardens. So we own and operate that. And it gives our folks an opportunity to not only work and have a good paying job, but they get to do something that they actually enjoy and feel part of and get connected to. We have a young man that works there that went there to learn how to do the retail piece of the business, but discovered in himself that his interest lied in the butterflies that we have there and how much goes on with them and where they live, and what they eat, what they do when they die, what they eat, how long it takes to put them on this chrysalis and they hatch, and how long they have to live in this one incubator type thing before they come out, and really learned all about that. And it's really heavily regulated by the USDA, but he took it upon himself to learn all those things and become the expert, and now he does the tours for like the elementary schools and middle schools.
Really?
And has become a remarkable young man doing those kinds of things that he loves. There's that integrated piece right there that connects. He looks a little bit different, his speech is a little bit different, but the kids kind of see that as he's being the expert, so it changes their perception of things, and next time they won't maybe discount somebody that does look a little different or has a little different speech pattern.
Yeah.
They'll understand that they can be just like them as well, and that's the kind of things that we do. So we just need to do more and more of that, more enhancements of that. We have a great number of things. If you want me to go into every one of them,
well, I was just, well, I was just about to
Yeah.
ask kind of the importance of, you know, when you can allow some of these children to see at a young age, this person may be a little different, but they are doing something that I'm interested in. We have some similar interests. We have some similarities. How much that impacts those children and just the acceptance of our special needs population for the future.
Yeah, exactly. That's very well put, because it just impacts them for the future, so they don't have those distinctions like some of us may carry from our upbringing and haven't had the exposure to our population like most of us have. But that's a great piece. That's one of the things we do. We have a store downtown is another great little piece that it gives them an opportunity to again be integrated into our community. People come in and buy from us the different products that they make, and they find value in themselves because they're making a product that people buy. I mean, I could never do that, and no one would want anything. But that's another wonderful piece we do. We have a great wood shop that I find is probably one of the most remarkable pieces that we have put together recently, and we have orders for cornhole boards are a big deal. These Adirondack chairs that we build are really significant, but the real reason that I find it intriguing is it went from a kind of a workshop with one person kind of showing everybody what to do, and then we kind of had a change in the management structure there, and a gentleman by the name of Ed, who comes from the construction world, just had a real easy way about him, and he is a real good teacher, and he's changed that into a dynamic workshop, because now all the folks are working independently with power tools, building these things on their own, and I mean that jump from the here's what you do to now they're actually doing it is huge, and that's just another opportunity for them to feel that self-confidence and feel that value in themselves and a purpose. Everybody wants to have a purpose and get a paycheck, so that's a good thing.
Nothing wrong getting paid. You mentioned it with the Botanical Gardens. You mentioned it with the wood shop. You mentioned education and teaching. And how many opportunities to learn just outside of the skill that they're learning are there for this population because of these opportunities?
Just in our organization, we have 31 different programs, so we have a lot of different things. And what I always look at it and see it as an opportunity for exposure. So let's say someone comes to our organization from outside the state sometimes, because of the way we do it and the culture that we have, that person-centered culture, which is really refined at looking at the individual as an individual. What are they trying to accomplish in their lives, communicating with their significant others or their guardians or their parents or their natural supports, and finding out exactly what does that person want to do, and then helping them get to that point. That's what we do. That's our purpose. But you have to have a piece of or an opportunity for them to be exposed to different things. Because if you've done laundry for 31 years and somebody says, "What would you like to do for a living?" you'd probably say, "Well, I know laundry. I'll do laundry." But if you have the opportunity to work at the Botanical Gardens, to work at the wood shop, to work at our little store wood shop area, or our bakery where they learn food prep, or another one that's called Sweet Beginnings, where they make soaps and lotions and stuff, and they can find what they like to do. And who doesn't want to do what they like to do when they work? Because there's a lot of sayings out there, if you love what you do, it's not work. That gives these guys the same kind of opportunity. So they get those opportunities, they find something that they enjoy, they dig into it, and then they say, I can see it in them every time. That success breeds success, I say, and it just causes them to start thinking about, I can do this, and I'm capable of doing this, and I've challenged myself and accomplished this. What else is on the horizon? And they start looking outward then, and they start coming up with these plans like, hey, I want to go to Disneyland, I want to do, whatever that comes to their mind, because they know that they can be successful, because they have that self-confidence and that feeling of their own value and stuff. And that's the kind of thing that I think is most important that we do. And we're really starting to really change our focus to really start working in that direction. Plus, we want to start moving in the direction of helping our folks find community employment. So that's another huge step, because you have to go out and get an application, you have to do job interviews, you have to do those kind of things.
Some things they might not actually be comfortable with.
Yeah, exactly, or not know anything about. And we did that for a while, and we kind of lost focus on that piece, but we have several people that work in the community, and they're doing very well, and they're very successful. So we just need to get back to that, because I can see where some of the people, I'm just thinking some of them in my head right now, have that desire to do that, but they just don't have the skill set, but we can help them get there. And then once they do, changes the whole piece. I had a gentleman. You want to hear another story? Because I have lots of stories.
All right, go for it. Go for it. Then
I don't want to eliminate your questions or anything, but this story is kind of puts it all back into a nutshell, like I was explaining. A gentleman is about 52 years old, never worked outside one of the shops that we had, and kind of was really reserved, didn't have a lot of self-confidence, kind of would talk to you, kind of not facing you, kind of mumbled and stuff, and just really didn't feel good about himself. You know, he just didn't have that degree of satisfaction with what he's doing. So I helped him in this instance to get a job. He goes around and picks up trash for 2 hours a day around a housing complex. But in that, he was working with other people from the community. He was just the only one from Strive, but he got to be a part of that workforce, and he got to sit down and have break with them and talk about the Broncos and talk about what he's going to do with his paycheck and what how crappy his boss is or whatever it is that you're talking about in those things. But he was a part of it. He was accepted. He was integrated into the community, and he felt good about that. And then now he has just ballooned, man. He sees me in the hallway and he's like, "Doug, I bought a truck." And I go, "What do you mean you bought a truck? You can't drive." And he goes, "Well, yeah, but I always wanted a truck." So we not only helped him get a job, but we helped him achieve his desire to buy a truck. He works on his truck, and who knows, with the way things are going, he very well may find the ability to get a license and drive, and that would be just another step to where he wants to go. Again, that success breeds success thing.
Yep.
So those are the kinds of things that community can bring into the picture too, and help our organization and help the people that we support by giving them the chance. Because when you do, if you give them the opportunity, you'll find how great of an employee they become. I mean, there's several businesses in town that have folks that work from that we support from Strive, and they're always saying that's the employee I would give the keys to. They're the ones that are here every day. They love their job. There's no difficulty with them getting along with everybody, because they just love what they do, and that's the kind of thing that we're going to try to focus on and move forward with, because that's a powerful one. That is, there's nothing stronger than somebody really finding their niche and finding that they're accepted.
Yeah. It makes me think of a friend of mine in Georgia who always says powering through perceptions. And this young man actually started a baseball league, which has started in Atlanta, taken off mostly nationwide. He started a league or a team in Colorado Springs, and it's for people 15 and up, special needs with autism. And I can't help but think it has a lot of similarity to what Strive is doing. He's providing opportunities for these kids, adults to participate in baseball, get that social setting, learn new skills that then translate outside of the game of baseball. One kid never thought he was ever going to have a job, played baseball for a season. Suddenly he's going into employment opportunities, getting applications like you mentioned. He didn't even know how to fill out an application. Now all of a sudden he's applying for jobs, gets a job, all because of the game of baseball. How important would something like that, and you mentioned you'd like to have more opportunities for adults here. How important would it be to bring something like that to Mesa County, to Grand Junction? Oh,
I think that fits right in with what we've been talking about. I think that's a perfect example, because the sports world almost kind of mirrors the working world, because you have to learn how to get along with others, you have to listen to the coach or the boss, and you have to do the things that you do, and you have to learn those skills that go along with that. And that's exactly what we've been discussing here, and I think that would be a perfect fit, not only for that piece, but the physical exercise piece, the camaraderie of teams, and that kind of thing, of finding new friends and developing those natural supports. It's huge, because a lot of times they feel isolated, especially if they have some degree of autism that inhibits them from really having that social techniques and things that they need to get there. But those kinds of things can help that break down, because they get to observe others, and then from that they learn those types of things, and once they get them, they're golden. They can do it. They don't. It's not like they got to keep repeating it. Once they get it down and they practice it, then they move on. But I think that baseball thing is a perfect fit for this. Not only for us, but we're a baseball community. We really should have that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, with CMU's great baseball
yeah.
history, with Simplesio Field in the Rockies, I mean, it's hard to say that baseball isn't a piece of our
oh
history
yeah,
here.
JUCO, don't forget that.
JUCO,
that's huge.
Of course,
yeah.
of course.
So we have a lot of great things that go on. So yeah, I could see. I'd like to learn more about that, and maybe you could help me figure out where to go and what to do that, and maybe help us in the rest of the community do that too, because I just see that being a huge plus. And depending on the time of year, maybe in the fall or something, we could really develop that into a really. I'm always looking for those things that are sustainable and are going to have some longevity to it, because you can have those hit and miss, one-off kinds of things where they get a day of doing a particular thing and that's it. But I want to have something that's repeated throughout the week. They practice, then they play games, and they practice and play games, and they have something to do just like we want to. I like to go do different things and during the week, and that gives them an opportunity, because they get sometimes there's not a lot of opportunity for them to do those things. So I think if we provide those kinds of things, they can find their fit. And that'd be a good one. That'd be just it's got a real good feel to it.
Yeah, obviously we're lucky to have places like Colorado Discoverability and the Challenger League here, but providing more opportunities, especially something like this alternative baseball organization, where it is the same rules that you're going to see on the pros, your wooden bats, the helmets, everything is the same except for a ball that's a little bit softer, a little bit larger. You're not changing the game for them. You're saying this is the game, these are the skills, you can do this. Another example of, don't say you can't do it. Don't say you have a disability. This kid Taylor will always say he turns disabilities into abilities.
Oh, great.
And every time I hear him or I get to talk with him, it reminds me of what you guys are doing, because I feel like that's exactly what you guys are doing with all that you do for the different jobs and opportunities that you provide.
Yeah. I think we should be a part of that, definitely, and be engaged in that. But I could see a lot of success coming from that particular piece, because you just you see the confidence building from that particular piece, and those kind of things that come out of that, and plus the teamwork and the relationships. Those are so healthy. Those are healthy things.
Lifelong experiences that you're building
exactly.
through that.
They're friends for life, and you can make friends there. But whatever you can come up with that'd be great.
Yeah,
I'd love to explore that.
Well, I'll certainly keep you posted, and I'll try to introduce you to. I know you have a lot of things to do, and of course we have a busy day here as well. Real quick question for you. You guys do a lot with the Botanical Gardens.
Yes.
It's not just managing Botanical Gardens. There's concerts and everything. What are some of the events that you do, and how do they provide Force Drive?
Well, that's a great segue, because I have a concert this Friday. The Boys of Summer, and it's an Eagles tribute band. They're really good. But those kinds of things give us two things out of this. It gives us some exposure, and almost like advertising about what we do, because people get to learn about, we're going to do a great concert, but who's putting it on? Strive? What do they do? So that opens up the door for that conversation. But it also is a great funder for some of the things we have those gaps in. For instance, an example would be in our children's services, maybe the family doesn't speak English and they need an interpreter for the therapist. So we wouldn't have any funding for that, but this particular piece we could take and say, okay, they need $200 for an interpreter. We can use this money to pay for that interpreter. Now everything's back on track. Now they know what's going on. So those are the kinds of things that it funds. So we have that. We have that's a Garden Group concert series. We have a Tulips and Juleps. It's another fundraiser that's with the Derby party, and that's a really good fundraiser. And it's getting bigger and bigger every year. We have a great committee that runs that thing. We have an event for kids. It's kind of like a kids festival called Rolling on the River in the October, and that's a lot of fun, October 12th. And we have like games and pumpkin painting and face painting and all that stuff. It's kind of geared for that 0 to maybe 11-year-old kids. And then, but we also have families and parents and kids come to that and talk about their experiences with when they went through the services of Strive and what that helped them do. And they can talk about a number of different things as we do, but 46% of the time, if they come into our services before that age 3, we're able to get them to age-appropriate skills and behaviors, and then they're off and running. And I can't even keep the mic away from them because they want to tell so many people about that, because they're running up there saying, "Let me talk, because these people need to know what impact you made on not only my child but our entire family, moving us forward. So that's the kind of fun stuff that I get to do. So
awesome.
I get some big smiles, baby.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. I'm smiling just thinking about it. Well, Doug, thank you so much. For anyone who doesn't know, head on over to westernslope.now.com for more information about Strive. And Doug, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes. Logan, great.
Look forward to having you again soon, and of course talking more with you about some of the options that people can do in the community to help with Strive.
Anytime. We're ready. Thank you
so much. And of course, thank you to our sponsor, Carrie Litz with B Sweet Cafe and Bake Shop. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. That was great. Good.
Yeah, no, really appreciate your time.